This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. It's a Friday. It's ahead of the Father's Day weekend.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. It is podcast number 400.
It is. It's very exciting.
We're really...
What?
I know, I could tell by the enthusiasm. It's very exciting.
It is very exciting. Now I'm focused on the 1000th show, though.
Right.
We talked about it today, yesterday.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a milestone.
Here
and
we are.
As you said, you thought we'd make it to 100. Here we are at 4. I'm pretty proud of it.
Around the world, thanks for hanging out. We had a big show today. We had an entire rapid fire session of dad jokes. That went over about as well as we thought it would. Excellent.
Well, I can't say I wasn't a little nervous about it. There's some pressure. I'm not a dad.
Zero
These are
pressure.
dad jokes, and I have to be able to deliver them as you would, being a dad. So I'm sorry that it fell down.
It did not fall down. The fact that the listeners didn't enjoy it as much as we did is their fault, not ours.
It's on you, listener, not us.
Right. Okay.
But they were pretty good, I thought.
You knew what you were getting into when you turned the station on this morning.
Well, and we gave them plenty of warning that they were coming.
Yeah. So it's not like, I didn't think you were going to come through on your promises to.
We're not Donald Trump.
Do lame stuff on the. You're really on that today.
Well, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. And I'm referring to, of course, him yesterday or Tuesday, I guess, after his arraignment about saying, come get food. Or let's eat. What was the saying? Yeah.
I'll pay.
I don't know that he actually, and that's the sticky thing. I don't know that he said he'd pay.
Right. He said he'll look at everybody can eat on me.
He said food for everyone.
Food for everyone.
Food for everyone. And then they went into a restaurant. He shook hands, took pictures, and then left. Didn't pay for anybody. And I know, and again, as we said, listeners, if you didn't enjoy the jokes that we warned you were coming, it's kind of on you. It's kind of on the patrons too, because again, it's like, people, what did you think was going to happen? He didn't say he was going to pay for it. He said food for everyone. Mm-hmm. Like, words matter. You need to pay attention to what he's saying. Yep. So the expectation, yes, of course, is like, he's paying. But he didn't actually set that. And now the headline, of course, is he left without paying. But he never said he was going to pay for people. But you were fooled again, people.
What does food for everyone mean then?
You're going into a restaurant. There's food for everyone.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're assuming he's going to pay for you, that's on you. And I find it very entertaining that...
So you don't think he went back on his word by not paying?
No, I don't. To me, it's funny that people were sucked in again. And...
No, but But the hypothesis you have is that he went in and said something and offered that he actually didn't offer.
Had no intention of doing.
Back in his mind, he's laughing at it all, you clowns, and then walked out. Right. Okay.
Which is what he does.
Yeah, I got that. Sure.
So now everybody's outraged or there's people who are upset because he didn't pay. Well, he didn't.
I just find it so funny that we never talk about it in the podcast till he goes into a restaurant. Right. Guy could have sold top secret information to the Saudis.
Because I don't want it to be it's not political. It's just him.
The thing is, it's almost not even political. It's like just so all-encompassing to everything. Mm-hmm. Everybody in society is so mad and demanding things, and everybody's so angry.
You're right. There's a whole bigger... You're right. That's a good point.
Yeah. So, we could talk about that without getting quote-unquote political. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So that was the...
I mean, when it makes the pulse,
I mentioned it. Well, I had to because it was so ridiculous. I'm reading it. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen, people? Yeah. Like, honestly.
Did you think
you that surprised?
Lucy wasn't going to pull away the football? Come on. Did you really?
Exactly.
True. All right. Now I get it from your perspective. Okay.
Yes. So that's why it was in the Pulse today.
So that was good. We had that going on. Dad jokes.
Yep.
We had Patricia Guernsey on.
Yes. Yes, we did. Big honor for her.
That was so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. As I said, I don't know if I have a real sheet of paper when I told her about it. In my mind, I did, and she was at the top. I have a few other people that I think are there.
Future guardian angels?
Yeah. It's sort of like
what
2
they've
or
done
3.
and how
exactly. And I've been pretty close most of the time. I don't think anybody has been made an angel that I hadn't considered. Not that that makes me smart, but Children's Foundation really pays attention. You and I are pretty tight with the shakers in the community that do stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like, I could see this person, and then it's like one of them's picked next. It's like, okay, good. Because I would hate to think I missed somebody who was doing something great and it didn't occur to me. Because we're in touch with them all. I would hate to think somebody was so big in what they do around here that I forgot about them, because I don't think that's part of our job. I think our job is
to know,
is to make sure who's doing the good stuff and that everybody's well aware of it. So
some don't want to be, though.
I get that.
They don't want to be well known for it. They just want to do it under the radar just to make sure it's done.
There's an individual in town, for example, that you know and that I know, and I will not mention his name, who I believe has refused to be a guardian angel.
Really?
And I could have that wrong. I do know when I worked with the Belleville General Hospital Foundation on fundraising, and I approached him again, because he has given before, and I mentioned it to him, and one of his stipulations was, I'm going to think about it, because I agree, we're at the point where we have to do something, and I would like to make a significant donation. But he said, but on one condition. And I said, what's that? He said that it's anonymous. I said, you got to be kidding me. I mean, people need to know. He said, because when I do, my phone rings 20 times.
Granted.
Like, I want to give to the causes I want to give to, but then out comes every other organization who says, okay, somebody's back in the news, they're giving money again.
Yeah.
And so, and it's not that he doesn't want to, he wants to give to who he wants to give to after all this time of giving for a tremendous amount, he and his family. He just doesn't want the press for it.
I was going to say on his terms, but that doesn't sound right either.
Yeah.
Like you said, of course, he wants to give.
Yep.
But he just wants to give. He doesn't, and he's happy to give, and he will give. Just don't bombard me with it.
Yeah, no,
I will do it.
Don't thank me for it.
Yes.
Like, just
I'm not doing it for that reason.
Exactly what it is.
I just want to do it and be done and help where I can.
Which is great, because, you know, that presupposes that there are some people who don't give to the causes they want to give to because they fear the deluge from everybody else.
Sorry,
so
and I kind of thought that too, because that does happen.
Right.
And you do. If you help one, there are others who need it as well. And then it's kind of like, okay, where do I, not that you want to draw the line, but you do have to think about it.
But you kind of have to, because hey, when we sit down at tax time and my wife starts going over and it's like, 50 here, 50 there, 50. She's not saying, but let's add it up.
Yeah.
And wow, we were really generous this year. As in, like, too generous? There was a lot of stuff going on. We get involved with it. Like, all of our standard ones are there, and then there's, a flood relief we heard about, and then there's...
Which is great if you can do it. But yes, you do get to a point, I'm sure, where it's like, okay, I want to help, but maybe there's another way I can help other than donating this money. Maybe I can do this instead.
You taking a picture and putting it on a website because I don't want it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, great. And we're not saying Patricia wants that, but this is what's great about the Children's Foundation, is that the Guardian Angel is celebrated not simply as a career-ending thank you.
No.
You don't have to give anymore. It's meant to inspire everybody else to want to get involved. So we called Patricia to find out what it really means to her.
Hello.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Thank you very much.
Patricia Guernsey, everybody, named to be the next Guardian Angel. See my sheet here? See my sheet, Patricia? I get to cross you off. You're at the top. I keep a list, you see, of everybody that I think is the next deserving, and you are at the top of the list.
Oh, I appreciate that, Mark and Charity. Thank you.
So the obvious thing, of course, is what does this mean to you, especially when you look at everybody else who has been celebrated along the years?
Well, it's pretty exciting. I mean, really, to think that you're a part of that list is a bit surreal. Like, I still can't believe it's actually happening. So I'm really proud to be chosen, of course, and I've been a part of that organization for so long that, it's weird being on this side of the celebration rather than the other side for a change.
Because you have organized a lot of these galas for a lot
Very
of these
well deserved,
angels,
Patricia. You say it's weird, but we hear your name everywhere, and you do so much for this community. So yes, it is well deserved.
Thank you very much. I couldn't be more happy.
One of the aspects of it, of course, is that not only is fundraising a big part of it, a few of the angels over the last couple of years, and I know you've echoed it too, is this notion of inspiring others to follow in your footsteps. What do you want to say over the next 6-8 months before the gala to get people to do that?
I think that people, for the most part, need to be involved. And it doesn't have to be with the Children's Foundation or the hospital or hospice. Whatever it is, that it could be your children's school. Be a part of the community that you belong to. It makes it so much better. You meet some amazing people along the way, and think of all the good you're doing in the process. Even if it's just a little bit, it makes such a difference. And if people understood that, their community would be so much better off. And we have a fantastic community already. But how much better could it always be if people chipped in when they could?
Coming up on Saturday, March 2nd, the Angel Gala for the Children's Foundation.
And I love the point she makes where it doesn't have to be maybe through Belleville General Hospital Foundation, or it doesn't have to be the Children's Foundation, or it doesn't have to be these foundations so much as just the point of getting out there and giving back in some way, whether it be with your children's school, whether it be with Meals on Wheels, whether it be helping your neighbor, just anything to help the community is wonderful.
And it doesn't have to be money.
It doesn't have to be money. No, it can be your time.
Time and talents.
Exactly. As
All
we
kinds of
heard
ways to help
earlier
out.
this week from Jennifer Smith, maybe you have a pressure washer
That's right.
you can donate for the Day of Caring. That's huge. That's in itself is giving and giving back to the community and helping someone else.
Doesn't always have to be really, really super big.
No.
Help a kid and you just change a life.
Absolutely,
You help a kid. You get
100%.
involved. You teach a kid to read, like whatever.
And you don't even realize it.
Don't even realize it. And just for like 90 seconds before we talk to Jodie, that whole idea, I don't know if it's going on, if we've been talking about it, this Pen Pal program that you know about with children and seniors, is there something going on right now? We were talking about it earlier because I was a part of one of those when I did the morning show in Stratford. Was it your kids are involved in it?
No, there was something online. There was something online. I think it was through one of the schools in Northumberland. It was an outreach program. High school students, so grade 12 students that were graduating, were paired up with a not a nursing home, a retirement home.
Right.
Were paired up with the residents, and they had to go and interview them. They had to go and talk to them. They had to, it wasn't so much a pen pal, but you had to go and have them share their experiences. So as they're getting ready to leave high school and essentially begin their journey in life, to hear their stories and their journey and how it changed and the twists and turns and everything they experienced.
That's so valuable.
It's incredible.
Holy smokes.
Absolutely it is. So that was the article. It was in a paper recently.
And,
Campbellford, it was Campbellford high school students.
Do you imagine, being in grade 12 and then asking, let's say I was speaking to a gentleman, I would be like, if you were in this chair now knowing what you know, what would you tell me? What should I do? And I'm sure it would be like, hug your mother. Because she's not always going to be there. And think of all the things that they would say. Like, really work hard. Work hard at your first couple of jobs. It makes every other job easy. Like, things like that, right? Like,
well, and I hope they would record them. Because if you think back to grade 12, when I look back at grade 12, I hate to admit it, I wouldn't appreciate it like I do now if I had that opportunity.
Who does, right?
I would much rather, I am grateful for the time I've had with my grandparents, and I'm grateful because I still have a grandparent, but he's getting up to the point now where it's harder to have conversations with him. But I'm thankful for the time I've had with him to have those conversations now. Like in later, hearing his stories, I appreciate a lot more now than when I was a teenager.
Right. Yeah.
When they do share more with you, and you kick yourself. You're like, I wish I had taken that advice or listened to it. So that's why I say I hope they record it, because then they can have it in maybe 10 years and they can think about it again and listen to it and be like, oh yeah, now I know what they were talking about and I can do this still. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, before it's too late.
Exactly. Exactly. But it's a great program and a great idea. It really took me.
So good. And we've got Ribfest going on this weekend. Father's Day, if you're looking forward to getting something for Dad, maybe he would love tickets to see the Abrams, because a long drive championship Abrams concert night called Endless Summer is going on at Trillium Wood. First week of July. Organizer Jodie Jenkins says it's going to be something.
Yeah, so this Endless Summer happening July 5th and 6th at Trillium Wood Golf Club has literally grown in the last 7 years to what it is now. It started out as a kind of a unique golf experience for people in the community to support some great charities, which I'm sure we'll get into. But it's evolved into, this year, the biggest long drive championship golf event in Canada. And I'm probably a little biased here, but it could even challenge and rival some of the bigger events in the world, to be honest, based on strength of field and the purse that we're giving away. So it's going to be I always tell people it's a time of golf, music, fun, and friends for a good cause, and it's crazy to think it's happening right here in Belleville.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing.
It'll take place right here in the backyard at Trillium Wood Golf Course. Where on there do they do it? Is it the first tee down over the water?
Yeah, so just like I'll give you the Coles Notes version of how it works. So we've got 48 teams of amateur golfers that are going to be paired up with a long driver, and during their round of golf, the long drivers are going to hit a couple extra tee balls on 4 qualifying holes, and from there, those results will either get them into the final 24 that night to compete for the money, or they'll be going home with a full belly and lots of fun. But the top 24 that are competing that night will be teeing off on number 1, which is the par 5 that you just talked about, and we're going to see who comes out on top. The cool thing, too, with this is, again, it's just grown so much, is Sunbelt Equipment Rentals is actually going to be lighting up the entire first fairway.
Oh, my gosh.
So we're going to be doing it under the lights for the finals. It's going to be an unbelievable experience.
Wow.
Now, with everything going on, Jodie, and this event being what it is now, I would think that you'd have golfers coming from all over the place to take part.
Yeah, so on the amateur front, we've definitely expanded it. Before it was very localized, and I would say about 80% of our amateurs are definitely from the Quinte region, but we've got teams coming in from Toronto, Kingston, Oshawa, so from all over, and that we definitely expanded Ottawa. But the coolest thing, and I'm just blown away by this because of just doing this and seeing where it's gone. Like yesterday alone, we have the 6-time Japanese long drive champion, Naoto Misumi, just signed up. He's coming over to compete. So he's flying from Japan. We got guys from Australia, the UK, lots from the US, and of course Canada. It's an international field, and I'm just blown away that it's happening right here in our hometown. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
If you love golf, July 5th, circle it down there. The Endless Summer Golf and Concert Day going on. Jodie Jenkins joins us this morning. When you say amateur, is this capital A amateur or small A amateur?
We've got golfers of all ranges of abilities. I mean, I have some friends of mine that are bringing their wives out to compete. Again, it's a fun scramble. It's nothing intense in terms of expectations. You just come out, you're having a good day. The real unique part is the fact that you get to play with a long driver, which a lot of us, Mark, you would know this. You don't play with them every day. You don't have that opportunity. And when I say long driver, just to put in perspective, the winning drive last year was a gentleman named Cody Billinghurst from Sault Ste. Marie. His drive was 418 yards. He was the winner.
Wow.
So, yeah. Tournament itself is sold out, which I'm blown away by because we started our first year in 2017 with 24 teams. We're literally at 48 now, and
that's incredible.
Moving forward, we got to assess. Do we need to use multiple courses? Mm-hmm. What do we have to incorporate? Multiple days. So it's a good problem to have. But I would love to chat about the Abrams though, and the concert.
Sure, yeah,
absolutely.
So on Wednesday, July 5th, we're bringing in the Abrams. Of course, CMA Ontario award winners, and I know you guys know them well, and we're excited to have them there. They're from just down the road in Kingston. And they're going to be performing on our stage. Show starts around 8 o'clock. Tickets are only $35, and you can get into the long drive finals as well on Thursday with that ticket. So you could either, buy the ticket, go to the concert, skip the finals. I wouldn't recommend that.
No.
Or you buy the ticket and you do both. But
Right.
$35, and it's very easy to remember where to get them. AbramsTickets.com.
Okay.
It is easy to remember.
And that's going to take place at the golf course on Wednesday night?
Yeah, everything is at Trillium, so it's awesome. We're gonna. People are. I'm kind of amazed at the team we have and what we've been able to build. But when you step foot on this event, you're going to be blown away by what you see from the stage, the bleachers, the signage, the branding. Like the trophy is going to be on display right in the center. And I got to give a plug out to Divots as well. Divots Landscape Supply. They've been an amazing partner and help us pull this off. So.
Well, you've seen the divots that I take. They are my official sponsor of golf as well. They follow me around with the sod.
Well, Jodie, and we can't forget as well that this is the proceeds from this event too. There's a charity benefiting from this as well.
Yeah, of course. We've been doing this for years now, supporting the Grace Inn Shelter and bringing awareness to what they do. And, of course, our new transition home, which opened in 2021, Shiloh House, where we have six men that stay there and get back on their feet. And I'm happy to report, too, that we've been open since 2021 when we opened that building. We've seen several guys that have actually gotten back on their feet, and they're actually now in permanent housing, which is a very cool feeling and kind of what we're trying to do. But yes, we're proud to be partners with them and look forward to raising lots of money. You'll appreciate this. I was actually at the Pirate Ship Park last night, and I was looking at the signage for the Rick Mahar event that used to happen, which you're well familiar with, and I said to my wife, like, that tournament used to raise millions, and they built this park, and they've done so much in the community. I was like, I wonder if we'll ever get to that point. So, that's kind of like, if you want to talk about goals overall, I'd love to have an event that's like of that magnitude, which I think we're close.
You're well on your way, certainly. Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know, but it's not often we get Japanese professionals who will fly for a day in Belleville on an event this big, right?
Yeah, people and even the guys coming from Australia, Sebastian Twaddell and Matt Stubbs, like, these guys are some of the fastest swingers of the club on the planet. Kyle Berkshire, I haven't even mentioned him. He's the #1 ranked long driver in the world. Like, these guys are all coming into Belleville, and for $35, you'll see something that you don't get to see that often. It's just unbelievable.
It'll ruin your golf game, I'm just telling you. Because it's like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
Don't swing like that. Don't swing like that. Holy smokes. Jodie Jenkins joining us this morning once again. $35 get you all of that. Once again, where do people get tickets?
AbramsTickets.com.
Great job, Jodie. Thanks so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
So, we shared this morning about how 3 and 4 dads would rather have an experience over a physical gift.
Yeah.
There's an experience.
Right, out you go.
Take them out. Yeah, take them out to Trillium Wood.
Concert and then golf, although the golf is sold out, as he mentioned.
The golf, but you can still go.
But then go watch the long drive.
Can you watch?
Yeah.
You can go and watch and then stay for the show.
I don't know if the gentleman who was the long drive champion or top 5 in the world that I've played with a couple of times. I've seen to, and he puts on exhibitions on driving ranges at some of the tournaments we're at. It was at one at Timber Ridge Golf Course where he was on the first hole, which was a par 5. And he said, it has to be a trick shot, and you'll use my drive. So do you want me to hit it off of a tee that's 3 feet in the air, or do you want me to tee it up and I'll swing from my knees? So which one do you want?
Oh, my gosh.
So I think they asked me to pick it for the group.
Yeah.
So I think I said,
tell me you did the 3
off
feet
your
high.
knees.
Oh,
no, he did it. He did, and he showed me. So he did it off his knees. This is a 500-yard hole. We hit the green in 2. His tee shot, my 8-iron.
Holy crap.
He hit it about 320, 340 off his knee, on his knees around. Like, you think about that, you think, all the power in a golf swing comes from the legs. Took his legs out of play. Just did torso swing, wrists. Yeah. So, and I've watched him hit on #1 at Trillium Wood over the trees in the water. Like, the water's there. So I like to hit in front because I'm never going to hit in. It's fairways down for a guy like me. And there's trees to the right. So you want to be far enough left on the fairway. He drew it over top of the trees. Like, I think it was still climbing. He probably, what did they say, 418 was a winner last year? He must have been upper 380s, 390s.
Wow.
He was like 100 yards in. Just a whole other type of game. Like, it's inconceivable to me. And I said to him, like, I get it that you hit the ball so far and you're here. Like, you're not at the British Open this weekend. You're here. Why are you here if you can hit the ball like that and you're not there? And he said, the razor-thin difference between what we can do and what Rory McIlroy could do, it is infinitesimal. There's not a huge difference, but that difference makes all the difference. He's just that better on the greens. He's just that much better with his iron play.
Because it's not just the drive.
Exactly. Sure, it looks good, and we're all like, well, if you can do that. But I said, but like, what is your handicap? He said, I'm probably a 0 or a 1. But pros are like, -5 or whatever. He said, here's the other big difference. And you talk about getting a chance to talk to these guys. He said, I could go out on one of those professional courses today and shoot 68. But tomorrow I'll shoot 84.
It's the consistency.
Yeah. Yes, I can hit the shots, and this looks great, but if I miss hit one, you go, okay, that's okay, hit another one. No, but that one went out of bounds and made me a 7 on a Sunday and cost me $400,000. That's the difference. That consistency, that confidence in your swing. Yeah, I can get up here and bash it and amaze you, but being a professional golfer, it's heads and shoulders above what he can do, and I think it's the same thing. when you watch these guys. Phenomenal. So get your tickets for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you play golf or if you want to get something for Dad, Abrams.com. Get him the tickets for the concert and for the Long Drive Championship. It's going to be great.
Speaking of Father's Day, what are your plans then?
I don't really know. I asked my wife if there was a surprise coming. She said no. So I'm kind of grateful for that. So it'll be whatever it is. The thing is, and because now I'm old and my children are adults, I've kind of moved past. As I said before, I'm in that lull between Father's Day and the post-Father's Day. And I'm completely okay with it. I'm sure I will get phone calls.
But you will be going for meat, though, this weekend.
Oh, my gosh, I love Ribfest. Here's what Kath and I are going to do. We're going to go, and we're going to order more than we believe we can eat, and we're going to convince ourselves that we're going to take home whatever we don't eat. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to sit down near Mayor Jim Harrison, and we're going to eat it all. And we're going to be ashamed of ourselves.
And go for ice cream.
Then we're going to go for ice cream. The pop-ups. And we're going to convince ourselves there's no way we can eat it. And then we're going to eat it and sit at the benches, and we are going to hate ourselves.
And then on Sunday, you're going to go back.
Twice. And then we're coming back.
See, that to me sounds like a great Father's Day weekend.
That's the plan. Say no surprises. Already organized.
Something else I thought of, too, and I just saw it today. There's an escape room, a Father's Day escape room in Tweed. And I immediately thought of you because, yes, your daughter may not be coming home, but Andrew's here. And I thought you guys, like you Philbins, love escape rooms. We hold records. Exactly. That's why I thought of you.
You can't trap this family. We're out. We are intelligent and imaginative. We'll get out. Andrew's so good.
Well, that's what made me think of you. And I thought, good on the Lions Hall for doing it. The Tweed
good
Lions
on
group,
you
because
guys.
That's a great idea.
Larry from Tweed was on the show this morning. He won. He reminded us about the classic car show that's going on. So no excuse to stay home. We'll get together in 72 hours from now and talk about it all as we get set for high schools getting into exams and the final days of school. You can count on both hands. It's an exciting time in the Quinte region with the first day of summer coming up on Wednesday. Enjoy your weekend with Mark and Charity Mornings. We'll talk to you on